I'd have mental health episodes where I would not go outside for 3 days, and people would always be on my back being like, no, you gotta go out, you gotta do this, gotta do that. But now, like, if I do that and I'm like, I just don't want to go anywhere, everyone's like, that's okay. Hello. You can have...
All right.
My car got vandalised, but I'm not cleaning it until we get a new car wash. I refuse. Fixed phase on lockdown. I'm socially anxious extrovert and I miss being around people, but I was less anxious at the same time. Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. Yeah, like, because I just had really bad social anxiety, but, and COVID, like, don't get me wrong, did trigger my social anxiety badly in the sense that, I quite literally didn't go anywhere for over a year. If not 2 years. Um, like, I had to basically relearn in therapy how to go to the store. Like, you know? But during COVID, I took up streaming, like, even more full-time, and my social anxiety has just boomed since then, so... There's only a small bit of rust on this car. But the thing is, though, as well, lockdown... I don't feel I really felt the full effects of lockdown because my mum works in the medical field, so she never... Work professional wise, she was never impacted by the pandemic. She still had to go to work as normal. So, the only people who had to stay home were me and my brother. And I'm used to my brother being home anyway, especially like particularly during the summer. So it was nothing out of the ordinary in our house. The first time I walked into a restaurant after they eased the ban with restrictions, and I was picking up a to-go order, and there was a couple of dozen people there. My anxiety was sky high while waiting for it. Yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. For me, what made me so anxious, I was never afraid of catching COVID. Like, that was never my worry. Like, I was never worried about getting it, but what triggered my anxiety going into stores in particular was the change in etiquette. Etiquette? Like, you know, because before you just go into a shop and get what you need and that's it. Now you have to go in and follow a certain orders. Like, in the sense, like, oh, you have to get your things, stand here, stay away from that person, do that, go here, wait until, like, all this, like, the normality of it was gone, and I was nervous to go in and figure it out for myself, rather than, if that makes sense. My wife is immune compromised, so I was terrified of catching it because spreading it to her could have been fatal. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. And that was the scary part, like the immune compromised. Like, that was like that part. Anyone I know who was immune compromised, it was fucking scary. Now, that being said, I obviously at first I didn't want to catch it, but in the end, when a few of my friends and family got it and they recovered, I was a bit like, okay, yeah, I'm not that scared. Like, now, you know, in the beginning I kind of was, but I remember at Christmas 2020. Was it 2020? I can't remember. It was either Christmas 2020 or Christmas 2021. I think it was 2021, actually. 13 people, either friends or family, 13 people I'm close with, all caught COVID at the same time. They all caught COVID at the same time. And at that point, I had never got COVID in my life. So I remember I went to my therapist and had a bit of a breakdown. Because before that, like, a lot of people I know had passed from COVID. So at that time, I just associated COVID with death. So about 13 people I knew caught it all at once. I was like, ah, trauma. We did eventually end up catching it, but it was a lot less fatal at that point. Yeah, yeah. And you know what? Do you know the fucking unfair part? The one time I was like, I'm gonna go out and have some fun. Since the pandemic. No, bear in mind, when I did this, like, the restrictions were lifted a little bit. My first time going out and having a good time after COVID, I fucking caught COVID. I was so mad. Of course. Yes, what happened was I went to a concert on the Thursday night, and then the Sunday I flew to London. I was so safe as well and responsible. I was wearing masks. I was, you know, I was so careful, but at the same time I was kind of like, no, I'm gonna have some fun, because I was good for a whole 2 fucking years. I deserve it. I deserve nice things too. And of course, went to London. I was totally safe. I did everything I needed to do to stay safe over there. No, I caught COVID. And I was sick with COVID for 2 whole months. It was great. Two whole months I had the fucking bastard thing. Sadly, masks are better at keeping the virus from spreading to others than preventing you from getting it. That is true. That is true. Like, thinking back on it now, people keep saying to me, they're like, oh, you definitely got it in at the concert. And I was like, no, sorry, no, you definitely got it in London. You definitely got it when you're in London. And I was like, I don't think so. I actually think I got it at the concert. But I showed no symptoms before going to the concert, before going to London, I mean. Hi. And how long to show symptoms? It's so hard to pin down. I went to the concert on Thursday. The first symptom I showed, which was a very small one, was on Sunday. I didn't start showing full-blown symptoms until Tuesday, and Tuesday was when I tested positive.
Alright, let's do this.
Let's do this. Likely scenario. Yeah. Like, I'm not one of the, I was never one of those, like, COVID conspiracy people, but what I will say is, I believe they got it wrong with the spreads. Like, how they said it spread. I don't think it was accurate. The spread was as accurate as they described it as, because it was totally different when I got it, you know? I think, what they said the spread was, because originally they said, well, I say they, like fucking the health guidelines in Ireland or whatever, they were saying that, like, you show symptoms within, like, 2 to 3 days, and I didn't start showing symptoms until 5 days, so I believe that there's some inaccuracies with the spread and the incubation periods. Good offer. So, I don't think they were, the information around how it was spread and how quickly, it would show. Like, I think that wasn't entirely correct. Well, yeah, I was told early on that it could take up to 2 weeks to show, but I think 3 to 5 days was more common. Yeah, no, I was told it was you'll start showing symptoms within 3 days at least, and you can be a carrier for 2 weeks. That's what we were told. But it took 5, nearly 7 days for me to show symptoms. Because that's what people used to say to me, like, why did you go to London if you had COVID? And I'm like, I actually did not know I had COVID. I had no reason to believe I had COVID. Because I started showing the first symptoms when I was in London. Whoa! Are you good? Are you good? Okay, walk it off. Walk it off. I run her over, but she walks through the fucking bonnet. Oh, Lord. Not even necessarily malicious misinformation. We just had not a lot to go on. Exactly, yeah. Like, because even my grandmother was self-isolated for ages. Like, from February until the end of March, she was completely self-isolated. No one was allowed to go near her. And she still somehow got COVID. No idea how, but... Pip! Pip, thank you for the flowers. Thank you for the flowers, darling. How you doing? Yeah, there's just a lot going on back then that, like... It was a lot of guesswork to begin with, you know? Because I remember when I moved home from New York, I behaved like such a bitch. Because I was so pissed off because at that time, it was just, oh, we're going to go into lockdown for just 2 weeks to flatten the curve and then everything will go back to normal. And I remember, like, I was being such a bitch because I had lost my job, I had lost my apartment, I had to move countries. And I was like, all this for 2 fucking weeks. It was not 2 weeks. Spoiler. I heard a few stories like that. What, about the 2 weeks? Take care of it. We were young and innocent. I remember I had tickets to a concert a week after lockdown hit. And I was so devastated when the concert got cancelled. So I bought tickets to another date that was in November. And I was like, okay, we'll just go in November instead. Ha 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 ha. It would have been 2 years before I got to see a concert again. Oh, the young innocents. I was thinking 2 or 3 months. Heh, nope. Ha, nope. Try years. Try years, you young, innocent little soul. But I think as well, I think in that 2 years as well, it just brought out the absolute worst in some people. Yeah, it did. Like, seriously. Like, in both senses, in both COVID-related senses, and then just in other senses too, like... Like, the lack of sensitivity just went, you know? to want to live life if things aren't going wrong, but it was so hard to get through to people. I know, like... Like, and it made so many people crazy too, because I remember I had mentioned how yeah, I'd said something like along the lines of, yeah, I'm taking this seriously because my grandmother died from COVID, which is true. My grandmother did pass from COVID, and someone I know responded to me and said, "Oh, you need to have that investigated because her death was probably a setup." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And then, like, she tried to push this fucking mad theory of hers onto me that the hospitals were purposely murdering patients and saying it was COVID. And she was advising me I need to investigate, get it investigated because they probably murdered my grandmother. Who the fuck says that? So it drove me insane. Oh. No, do you know the thing that really got me and that really wanted me to kill, what really made me want to kill people? The whole attitude. Oh, it's just a funeral. Because my aunt and my other grandmother passed away in the middle of 2020. So kind of at the point where lockdown was still in place, but everyone was going out and gathering. And, you know, they both died. And we were only allowed, my grandmother's funeral wasn't too bad. We were allowed 50 at that one. But my aunt's funeral, we were only allowed 10 people. And like, I put up the argument. I was like, why is it that thousands of people are allowed to go to the city without consequences, and a mourning family of about 20 or 30 are not allowed in the same room to grieve? And then people's response to that was, oh, but it's just a funeral. And I'm like, it's just a, you know? But yeah, but like, I remember that friend, I was like, she was like, yeah, no, the nurses probably did something to your grandmother. And I was like, the nurse who looked after my grandmother also happened to be my cousin. And then the conversation just got awkward from there. Sup, Lander? My favorite thing to do that I started doing was I loved making people feel awkward if they tried to argue with me. Like, I remember when the vaccine started and there was all the fucking drama and theories about that, and I remember I can't remember who it was. I think it was one of my ex-friends was like going on being like, oh, she was basically lecturing me on why I shouldn't get it, and she was like, oh, if you get it, like, I mean, they're going to implant something in you that's going to make you sick in 10 years and probably kill you. Alright, one of those mad theories. Basically what she said, like, she's like, yeah, you know, you're going to get a vaccine that's going to kill you. And I was like, I just looked at her and I was like, well, now I'm definitely fucking getting it. So, and And at that point she was like, I'm just gonna walk away. I'm just gonna walk away. Theory, that shit is real. Lander, I can tell you now, I'm still fucking waiting. 6 years or so, Jesus. I was a little hypocritical once then. I can't say I regret it. Our church's pastor died in an accident July 2020 in the middle of lockdown. They requested I play bass in the worship team at the funeral. 203. I was terrified of catching something, but I simply had to go. Oh, yeah, I get that. I get that. But you know, like, that's the thing, like, with the funerals here, like, you're only allowed 10 in at a time. Not even at a time, sorry, 10 in total. And yet, like, other parts of the city, 10 in total. Yeah, 10 in total. Yeah. I remember one of the funerals, they tried to kick 11 of us went in, and they tried to kick one of us out. And I'm not a confrontational person, but I literally just grabbed my cousin's hand and pulled her in, and I said, go give this lecture to the thousands of people gathering in town before you come and give it to us. And then I just shoved my cousin inside. I wasn't taking any shit. That's so rough. Yeah, 10 people. 10 people at a time. You're a pink pony mod. And dance like the club, oh, Lander. But it's so funny because if you look at my old Apple Watch data, during the pandemic, I was in therapy every Monday. Well, not during the pandemic, 2021. 2021, I didn't go outside a lot. So if you look at my Apple Watch, you just see every Monday that my step counter was really low, and then it would go up every Monday and then back down again for the week. It was comical. Lander, do you want this to be your car? Do you want this as your car, Lander? It has no brakes, but it's pretty. That car has 160 horsepower, but about 13 of the horses went missing, so... But it still runs quite good. Orlando. I just started Pathfinder Kingdom Maker, which was a long game. Perfect timing. Had to throw myself into something while locked at home. It was paradise for gamers. No denying that. There's a cheap £2,000 one. Give me that. Give me that. Nova's asleep behind me. I let Nova come up to my room last night while I gave her access to my room during the night. Yeah, she's not ready. She's not ready for more house access at night. She only has her bedroom that she stays in at night. But I gave her access. I left the doors open to give her access to my bedroom. It was going well until she decided to use my head as a springboard. So until she's older, she is not allowed to stay in my room again. We also started a subscription to a meal delivery service, so we maintained it since. Got necessity less trips to the grocery store. Do you still use it to this day, Crouton? Nope, too expensive.
Good job.
Yeah, like COVID here brought in the delivery and click to collect service from the grocery stores that are still in place now, and that's the best thing that could have came out of COVID, because I used the click and collect service and it helps. But we kept a lot of the recipes. Nice. Yeah, I do the... Yeah, I use the click and collect service now, and that first originally started in COVID. Kind of just a way to keep staff working, and it's so good. So that basically means you input your shopping list and buy all your stuff online, and then one of the workers will go around, do their shopping for you, and bring it to your car. It's so handy. And it's free too. The service itself, it's free. So I use it whenever, like, if I have to do a big shop and my ADHD is acting up, I'll use it then. Pay a little extra bit per item, but it's well worth it. Curbside orders used to be done days in advance, and once you paid extra after COVID, it made it normal. It's much better now. Yeah. Hello. It's yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the click and collect is so good. It's great for someone like me who gets overwhelmed really easily when I have a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, it's great. Literally just pull up, they bring you a trolley full of your shopping, you load it into your boot and you go home. So like it's super handy if you're like stuck for time, or if you or like me, you have ADHD and you get overwhelmed by organising big things. The only thing, do you know how much of a pet parent I am? Last time I did click and collect, Nova got her own trolley. I ordered all my stuff, and I ordered stuff for Nova, and I ordered so much stuff for Nova, they brought it out in its own box. I was like, yeah, can you guess what type of pet I have? I have ADHD as well, and I just hyper-focus instead. Let me tell you, organising big things is my jam, as long as it's something that catches my interest. Yes, yes, I get that too. I get what you mean. I have more of the inattentive ADHD, so I can't focus, you know. Like, but if it's stuff I'm not interested in, then it no, it doesn't work with me. And like, doing the shopping is a chore that I dread. So when I have to organise my shopping for the month and everything I need, it's, yeah, no, my ADHD goes haywire then. But I love organising though. Like, look at my YouTube channel. I have fucking videos scheduled up until November. I'm bad at organising. So, no, same here. Like, it has to be fun. This category bad. It has to be fun, you know. Like, so every 2 weeks, I do a big clean of my house, and again, it just has to be fun. And like, one of the ways I make it fun is I use the Roomba, you know. So like, obviously, I have to move the furniture for the Roomba to go in and do a proper clean. But when I'm moving that furniture, that's when I get to do other stuff and clean up other stuff as well, you know. And the same, like Nova, when I do a deep clean of her litter box every 3 weeks, we'll say, and like that, I always try and get it to collide with my big clean day, so that way, while the Roomba is going around, I'll clean her litter box. So it's like a co-working thing. Like, I'm basically, with cleaning, I have to co-work with the Roomba. And my brain thinks it's fun. But one-time projects? Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god, the projects I have organised but never actually did. I swear to god, it's actually tragic thinking back on it. My new job is like somewhat project management, so that should be interesting. Classic ADHD. Like, even as well, even with cooking, I batch cook a month in advance. Just because the idea of having to cook over a stove every single day, that kills me. So I batch cook in advance, and for like 2 weeks, sometimes a month in advance, so. I'm not the best at batch cooking. You see, that's where the click and collect helps as well. So, I mean, I could just organise what I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat it. And then like, what ingredients do I need? Then I just order all the ingredients all at once. And then collect them the next day. But I can't do complicated recipes that require maintaining more than one part or pan at a time. Yeah. Because again, hyper-focused. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, the food in my house is simple. Like... Nova, on the other hand, Nova eats like a fucking queen, don't you? Did you hear that? Yeah, Nova eats like a queen. She had turkey for her dinner tonight. Yeah, no, she did a really gentle meow back when I said you eat like a queen. She's like, my volume's low. Yeah, yeah. You probably won't. You probably can't hear all the background noise I have going on.